very happy to be here because it's home, at least far as the city goes, and it was almost my home when my family was deciding to relocate to Madurai from our native village. But I was just talking to a few people today and reminded of what I now consider kind of irrefutable truth. At the end of the day, the two things that really drive organizations, whether they're small or big, government or commercial, across the whole world, are people and culture. And these are kind of in a continuum. In a land like ours, where our legacy goes back thousands of years, it is the value system, the what we would call the panbadu, the nagarigam, the kalachara, that shapes us as we grow up in our families. The focus on inclusion, on empathy, on learning, on kindness, on being a good host, on being a good citizen. And of course, people don't last forever. We all have a limitation. And it is the continuum that people put back into their children and their children's children and their institutions that keeps the culture going. And I first discovered this actually far away from home when I was in investment banking. And I realized that everybody had access to capital, everybody had access to brand names, everybody had access to connections. And what separated the winner or the loser on any deal, or indeed in any year, was the culture and the actual execution talent of the people. That's definitely true in government. It's also true, I think, in startups and regions. I think what the pandemic taught us is that if you have the talent, everything else can be worked out, right? Like we figured out how to work from home. We figured out when we were issuing passes to cross state borders, how many of our young, talented people were working in places like Bangalore. In fact, I would say driving a lot of that economy. And so, though there have been many negative outcomes of the pandemic, one of the positive outcomes is, especially in a high-tech and science and data and artificial intelligence and robotics-driven world and Internet of Things-driven world, value creation can happen wherever there are talented human beings. And so I think the lack of maybe infrastructure, the equivalent of Chennai or the developed world, or the lack of a long track record of institutions is something that can be overcome. And innovation and the right kind of support from government, from friendly nations such as the UK and their investment missions, and from mentors and people who are from this region who have gone on to do great things in many parts of the world, who are eager to come back. I've met a few here in the last week, and in the next couple of days I'll probably meet a handful of people who are globally in finance, in tech, in the top 2 or 3 of large companies, who all came from Madurai or Tirunelveli or Kanyakumari or places like that and want to put back into the system. So I think in the overall geopolitical and shift away from China environment, and as much as India will be a gainer, as has been the case since 1990, Tamil Nadu will be an outsized gainer compared to the Indian average, just because of this culture, this talent, and the continuity and the connectivity with the Tamil diaspora around the world. So I want to thank, of course, CII, Tamil Nadu Startup Mission, but the British High Commission, the Deputy High Commission, Oliver, the senior officials, all the team who have taken the effort to come and bring all of you together. I'm sure many good things will come out of this, and we will continue to have such events with increasing frequency and with lots more stories of success to tell. So thank you again for inviting me. I wish you all the best.